All right, this is part 2 of this resurrection. So we're gonna take this truck and we're gonna finish adding some things to it so we can see if she's gonna off-road it all. It's gonna be pretty exciting. We do some hill climbs, we definitely get it stuck. I think you're gonna like it. And then make sure to check out part 1 where we get it running and we do some pretty crazy burnouts with this old girl. It's shocking that she had enough power to do it. Well, since we're planning on getting this thing stuck, I should probably put some kind of hooks on the front and the back since it has nothing to pull us out with. And the back's just wide open. So we better do something about that. Let's get to it. All right, we're now ready to start making some of our holding brackets for clevises. I'm gonna make my weld-on clevis brackets out of cement and quarter. I got everything all set up to start drilling holes. Got my rear plate all set up, got my front plate set up, so let's get to it. I don't know about you, but there is just something cool about cutting holes in thick metal. All right, it's time to get to welding. So I got my clevis block that I built. It's sitting in my bracket, or my plate. My plate's gonna sit flush against the bumper. And I do wanna get some weld on the backside. So I got a couple, whoops, I dropped my nuts. I got a couple nuts here that I'm gonna use the spacers to space it up about 1/4 of an inch. And then I notched the edge of my plate down. That way I can get a good weld. So we'll set that in there and we'll get to welding. And I don't weld this thick metal all the time. So hopefully it turns out looking good. Every time I weld the thick stuff, it just seems like you gotta go faster than like what I like to do. So I've been messing with the settings. So long story short, if this looks like crap, you're probably not gonna see this part of the video. And if it turns out okay, then I'll show it. Let's get to it. Man, I mean to tell you what, those mag drills make it so easy. This is 3/8 steel, and we're drilling 11/16 holes. No, sorry. Drilling 13/16 holes. Drilling that by hand is no fun. Well, I think that's gonna work for pulling the front end of this thing out. I know my bracket isn't gonna break. I'm more worried about the bumper holding together if we yank on her too hard. But we're gonna find out. All right, it's time to move on to the back end of this beast. So they extended it probably for a service body, the frame here. So we're gonna cut this extension off for a couple reasons. One, I kind of want to make the back of the truck as short as possible. And two, if I weld my back plate here, I'm gonna have to gusset all this stuff up where they just splice the frame. So let's just whack it off and put our back end on right there. Let's get to it. We got a rear plate all done. I don't think it's gonna fall apart on me. I got reinforcements on the back. It's made with all 5/8 thick steel, so it should work. Should. We're gonna find out. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing put on hopefully tomorrow. Still waiting on longer lug nuts. Stupid bud wheels. So as soon as we get those, we'll get this thing in here and get this put on and start doing some fun stuff with this truck. Flip it around and get it back. There's what I did with the back. I left all this open just in case, if I don't break this truck, I'd eventually like to have a front and rear winch on it. So my winch will go through this area here. So that's why this is all open. All right, let's get this back bracket on so we can go have some fun. Well, we got one last thing to get wrapped up on this truck. And I'm gonna turn this camera around and show you. We've got to do some kind of protection for our lower radiator so we don't rip that out. And then we got some air lines under there. So let's get to it. Okay, you can see we got some air lines under there. And then we got our radiator and our radiator lower support there. So we're gonna build some kind of shield. And then this bad boy is ready to go hit the trails. Well, there is our front belly pan. Hopefully it's strong enough to hold up. I know the back part's gonna be plenty strong enough. Now it's just a matter if the front part's strong enough to hold that whole front end up if we get tied into something. Okay, so here's everything we did to this old girl. We got our hook up front. We got our skid plate all built. We got some all-terrain tires cut for the front. We got some Super Redneck Engineering V-tread tires on the back. Luckily, I left a little bit on there after the burnouts. And then our back end's done. I ended up putting a receiver hitch in so we can test out this winch. And then I put 2 more hooks just in case we got a double back with the shackle to get twice the pulling power. So we're going to send this old girl. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of really shocked that this thing's actually doing what it can do. We might have just built the best off-road truck out of broken parts in Low Redneck Engineering ever. All right, Shane's gonna try to go up her backwards. This thing's just a beast. Go a little more driver side. I can't believe she made it. Build bigger hills. This thing is a freaking walk in the park. It's actually, I think, enjoying it. Okay, we've been having a good old time playing with this truck, especially now that we know it can actually do this stuff. I got my cousin driving it now. At first he's like, I don't want to drive it. And now I can't get him out of the damn thing. So we're gonna go up this hill backwards, and like I said, he's been grinning ear to ear, just playing like a darn kid. Yep, I need a bigger tractor or something to build bigger hills, or we're gonna have to take this to an off-road park or something. Because what I thought was gonna be too big, this thing just not a big deal. So apparently I am now officially the camera guy, because Shane's not getting out of the damn thing. Period, the end. He just wants to drive, which is fine with me. I kind of need to get some good angles of this anyways. Yeah, she doesn't have much articulation in her. transfer case is gonna stop her. Or not, we'll just power through. Now we're just backing over everything. Going forward's just not fun enough. Oh, that transfer case is just pushing dirt out of the way. Looking nuts. Stay right. Well, that was an easy one. Everyone's got to go. They got all plans for dinner, so we're gonna have to try to get her stuck another day. And we will. I didn't think we'd do as good as we did today. I didn't think they'd make it through what it made it through today. So next time, I don't care if I got to dig a huge hole and just pour water into it. We're sticking it. more speed ain't getting us through the deep stuff. I think we made it further the first time with less speed. Well, we hit it that second time with about twice the speed and made it about half the distance. It's as far as we're getting. I have something to do. That huge front end just sucking into this mud. Well, either way, it's a lot of fun taking an old heavy four-wheel drive beater and just burying it in the mud. Let's pull her out again. All right, as you can see behind me, we had some fun. We hit this thing, about 4 times. And this last time, she just freaking dropped. I mean, this is all swamp behind us, so the more you play in it, the worse it gets, and it just sucks you down. That receiver mount hitch we made worked pretty darn good. It was able to get us out. I hope you guys like this. Please like and subscribe to see some more of this cool stuff.